Visit elmhurst.org to explore the new City of Elmhurst website. Find out the latest Elmhurst news, pay utility bills and parking tickets, report concerns, and much more. Elmhurst.org is an ideal way to discover what Elmhurst offers your business, your family, your life.
Good afternoon. Would you all please stand for our national anthem? Thank you. Please be seated. Good afternoon. On behalf of the students and staff at York High School, I want to extend a warm welcome to the families and friends of our graduates, to the Board of Education, and to Superintendent Pernod, and most of all, to the class of 2013. Give yourselves a hand. We are honored today to be joined by members of the District 205 Board of Education, President Jim Collins, Vice President Shannon Ebner, Mr. Chris Bloom, Mrs. Emily Bastido, Dr. Margaret Harrell, and Mr. John McDonough. Thank you. Seniors, I know that you want to thank your parents who are with us today for all of their support. I'm going to ask the parents to stand so that we can cheer for you. Parents, please stand. And now to our seniors. 4 years ago, on your first day at York, we welcomed you in the auditorium, and I shared with you, perhaps for the first time, the words, "This is York." The phrase that you have come to understand, it describes the history and the culture of this great school. And I told you that over the next 4 years, you would help to shape and define the history in your own unique way. You probably have a lot of memories, I hope mostly good. Your classmates will be talking about those today. For me, several things stand out. Your dedication to hard work, making it to class, usually on time, giving your best, looking out for others. I'll always remember Tarzan swinging in on a vine. I'll always remember that unforgettable speech at the homecoming pep rally, the one from the cross-country runner dedicated to the football team. I'll remember the AP Art Luncheon, the one for the senior citizens in our community. I'll remember our first poetry slam and our Veterans Assembly. We probably remember different things. And before you receive your diploma today, I would ask seniors that you sit back and relax and enjoy this moment. Please allow each of us to say goodbye to you in our own way. Your classmates, a father and school board member, the superintendent, and your principal. This is your day to be honored. It's all about you. Have you heard that phrase before? Kids today think it's all about them. It's true. Today is only about you. However, and I say this respectfully, tomorrow should not be. Your lives will find meaning when you put others first. You will always be able to find something that's wrong in the world or in the moment. You can find someone else to blame, but the joy in life comes when you think about others first. In your future, whatever you do, I hope that you will have the opportunity to serve others, that you choose a profession, probably several, but that you choose work that you truly love, that you improve the lives of those around you. In this graduating class, a pilot, a photographer, writers and actors, an equestrian, an English teacher, an editor for National Geographic, engineers, a comedian or two, perhaps the future president. Those are your talents. Now, how will you use your talents to make a difference? We were overjoyed when one of you discovered how to make kimchi into an award-winning dish. But you truly found meaning when you traveled to Africa on a mission trip to serve others. We were overjoyed when, as the concertmaster in our orchestra, you played a beautiful solo the other night, but brought a great deal of joy to the senior citizens of the Lexington when you volunteer your time on the weekends to play for them. To one of our seniors, your own head hurt. You've dealt with more pain than any young person should have to deal with, but you put others first when you organized a walk to raise money and awareness about your condition. And now you're thinking of becoming a nurse because you know only too well the impact that nurses have on the lives of others. Your own homes were flooded, but you thought of others when you stepped in to clear basements and mop the floors for neighbors and complete strangers. I know, because they wrote me and told me. You and your family members have known too well the effects of cancer, but you turned that pain into an award-winning relay for life. You've told me that you attribute your success to great mentors, but now your own goal is to set up a mentoring program for others. You stood before this school board to advocate for other students so that this building could be safe and secure. You excelled this year, but your potential to serve others has been recognized in the name of people that are already gone, like Sean Edwards and Sue Leander and Fernando Mendoza. You're probably feeling some mixed emotions today, students. You are not alone. I saw a picture in your yearbook of two young boys, graduates when they were young boys at IC in matching star pajamas. And I couldn't help but think, and I bet your parents did too, where is the time gone? We are proud of you, but in some ways, it's hard to let you go. But you must go. I mean, literally, you must go, because we've already given your lockers away, and they've been locked, and you weren't even out of the parking lot on Friday when the juniors had lined up with Mr. Mangan to get your parking spaces. So you must go. Your parents asked us for some gift suggestions this year. You may not know that. They were looking for some ideas for gifts, and I know you've thought about a car, money, or something like that. But I got together with the deans. Are the deans here? I got together with the deans, and we thought about this particular class. We tried to think, what was unique about this particular class? What are the gifts that they need? We thought of something for the girls. For the girls, we were worried about what you would do on that first day of class in college. What would you wear? Is it appropriate? So for each of our girls, we have a lovely pair of used York gym shorts. You're welcome. Your parents don't know what that's about, but you do. For the boys, well, that was easy. After watching you the last 4 years at prom and homecoming, your dance moves were, well, at the worst, disturbing, and at best, lacking creativity. So we thought about the perfect gift for you, dance lessons, so that you can go from this to this. Yes, it's quite a mark that you've left on us. You are, and I mean it, a very gifted group. I hope that you will use those gifts and talents to enrich the lives of those around you. And of course, speaking of gifts, my annual advice to our graduates: your families are not going to be any more proud of you than they are today. So whatever you really want, money or a car, let me suggest that today is the day to ask for it. Seniors, we are excited to see where you're headed from here, but we are immensely proud of who you are today. You have been simply a joy to know. This is York, and I wish you the very, very best.
Good afternoon, and thank you to everyone here today who took time apart to make this special ceremony all the more memorable. It's hard to believe that about 4 years ago, I was standing at a podium for 8th grade graduation in the exact same situation I am now, except I was unable to read it because I had lost my voice leading up to the ceremony. However, my friend, Malcolm Ross, thankfully read it for me as I stood next to him. Thanks again, Malcolm, but today, I got this. However, I am at a loss for words as I think back to the 8th grade freshman night and remember reading the banner that stretched above the doors of the Dick Campbell Gym that said, "Welcome, class of 2013. I thought I was astonished then at how far I'd come as I walked through those doors. But fellow classmates, look at us now. The experiences and memories are too much to try and comprehend all at once. So briefly, let's see how far we've come. Freshman year, I'm sure I wasn't the only one anxious to find out if the rumor about throwing pennies at freshmen was true or not. It wasn't. And when we'd sit and eat lunch in the cafeteria and afterwards go sit in the commons because we had nowhere else to go, or back when the Learning Commons was actually called the library. Sophomore year, our football team was 6-0, and B96 arrived for a pregame show. And who could forget the impromptu halftime show interruption at our homecoming football game? Or afterwards, winning our first homecoming game since 2007 was well worthy of storming the field. Or a year when the boys cross-country team won their 27th state championship. Junior year, finally, we were upperclassmen. Despite being arguably the most rigorous academic year for some, we put our heads down and persevered. Persevered through the hours of irksome ACT review sessions. Persevered through second semester finals, which then seemed could not have come soon enough. Persevered in support through the freezing temperatures and eerie night as Angela Garino carried the juniors to victory in the Powder Puff football game as she kicked through the winning field goal. And then, senior year. Walking the halls thinking, we're the best, the cream of the crop. Finally, it's our time. But it's hard to believe how quickly the time flew by as the cream of the crop. It's hard to believe that we didn't have a single snow day, but a rain day. And it's also hard to believe that boys cross country won yet won yet another state championship. But I believe there is something even harder to pass by and believe. That it's been 4 years. Then, at the freshman night, the banner said welcome. But today, congratulations. Yes, it is saddening that we will be saying goodbye to our friendships and relationships made during our time here. But we should still be exuberant, considering new opportunities soon to come. And although our time ends here at York High, new beginnings and new endeavors await each one of us. And also, at this point, as we venture out into the next phase of life, we should not hold back from the unknown that might bring failures, but rather embrace those situations, because those failures will make us better and stronger. As President Barack Obama stated no more than 13 days ago, as he also delivered a commencement ceremony speech, the point is, in your life, you will fail. You will stumble. And you will fall. But that will make you better. And that's not only true for your personal pursuits, but for the broader causes you believe in as well. And don't give up. President Obama's words ring true for us, too. I truly hope for each and every one of you out here that we leave here encouraged and motivated to not give up and to continue to strive for excellence in everything we do, as we have for 4 years. Because after all, this is York. Thank you for an amazing 4 years, York. Thank you, faculty, administration, and coaches. Certainly, the time has come. I know, it's bittersweet. However, I wish good luck to everyone with your future endeavors. And congratulations, York Community High School, class of 2013.
Hi. I said, remember this moment in the back of my mind. The times we stood with our shaking hands, the crowds in stands ring wild. We are the kings and the queens, and they read off our names. It's like you knew our lives would never be the same. You held your head like a hero on a history book page. It was the end of a decade, but the start of an age. Long live the walls we crashed through, how the kingdom light shine just for me and you. I was singing long live all the magic we made, bring on all the pretenders. One day we will be remembered. I said, remember this feeling. I passed the pictures around of all the years we stood on the sidelines, wishing for right now. We are the kings and the queens. You trade your baseball cap for a crown. And they gave us our trophies, and we held them up for our town. And the cynics were outraged, screaming this is absurd. 'Cause for a moment take a moment and promise me this. You'll stand by me forever, but if God forbid fate should step in and force us into a goodbye, if you have children someday, when they look at the pictures, please tell them my name. Tell them how the crowd went wild. Tell them how our hope it shined. Long live the walls we crashed through. I had the time of my life with you. Long live the walls we crashed through. How the kingdom light shine just for me and you. I was singing long live all the magic we made. Bring on all the pretenders, I'm not afraid. Long live all the mountains we moved. I had the time of my life fighting dragons with you. Long, long live the look on your face. Bring on all the pretenders. One day we will be remembered.
Perspective is an amazing thing. I remember walking through the hallways of York when I was in 5th grade with my mom, seeing what must have been a 20-foot tall man with a thick beard and a backpack, and thinking to myself, why is that full-grown man still in school? Well, 7 years later, I can take pride in my facial hair growing abilities, but I don't feel nearly as grown up as I assumed a high school senior would. I have absolutely no idea what the future holds in store, and I can honestly say it scares me a little. And I know that we've been prepared by our teachers with loads of information, understanding how to find the angle of a triangle, understanding proper MLA formatting, annotating books for themes that may or may not exist, and taking standardized tests. However, I've realized something that most of you probably have too. The majority of this information doesn't matter to us. If I need to know the length of side B of a triangle, I'll just use a ruler, and I am fairly confident that I never in my life will have to annotate my boss's emails. Of course, you'll need to know the information for your given occupation, so maybe that's 30% of what you learned. 40% tops. So, with all that being said, do I believe that high school has taught me anything valuable? Yes. In the 4 years I've had at York, I've learned countless things outside the classroom as well. And I will take 100% of these lessons with me for the rest of my life. With this being graduation and all, I figured it'd be a good idea to share these lessons with you guys, because they can all translate into everyday life, and maybe you can use them someday. I've learned through so many reading quizzes in AP English that no matter how funny the answers you write down are, you'll still get an F if they're not correct. I've learned through fighting to get my rejected PE waiver overturned that if you want to take a class, fight for it, because it could be the very same class you end up making a career out of. I've learned that if you don't like a teacher, don't be too mean, because it could be the very same teacher that you end up having chats with in the hallways years later. I've learned that if you make friends with your counselor, your class is mysteriously becoming a lot easier to all fit into your schedule. I've learned through countless reminders by my parents that no matter where you end up in life, be happy with your decision and regret nothing. Through a million essay checks, peer revisions, and test reviews, I've realized that more people than you'd think are willing to give you your time as long as you're willing to ask for it. Through days when a tough quiz turns into an easy partner quiz, I've realized that surprises make everything more special. That's also why I didn't tell my family I was giving a speech today. And most importantly, I've learned through so many of my teachers at this school that if you are passionate about what you do, you will make a difference in someone's life. So, when you look back on these past 4 years, don't focus on everything that you didn't need to know, because I can promise you that every single one of you has learned something priceless that you'll take with you for the rest of your life. Which brings me to my last lesson. Don't forget where you came from. No matter where you go to college or what job you get, you went to York, and it was York that helped you get there. Congratulations, class of 2013. Keep on learning.
Superintendent Purnell, at this time, I certify that the students sitting before you have met the graduation requirements for the York High School diploma, and it is now my pleasure to present you the graduates of the class of 2013.
Well, congratulations. How cool is this? After 13 years, you have arrived at the big moment, the big graduation. And I can tell you, as one of our community members and a part of District 205, we couldn't be prouder. You have done amazing things this year and over the last 4 years. And as the superintendent, I just want you to know how much we appreciate everything that you've done to make this community a little better. I also want to take a minute just to recognize District 205 and the employees that have been responsible and created this moment. This is also like a 13-year test for us. This graduating class represents the efforts of administrators, teachers, support staff that were responsible for getting these students here today at this magic moment. So if you would, if you're a District 205 employee, could you please stand and can we give them some applause and recognition? I would ask you graduates also that before you leave on your life's journey, take a moment and think about one person that made a difference for you in our school district. And if you could, let them know, write them an email, or if you want to do something quaint and antique-y, write them a note. It will mean a lot to whoever that is, because I know there is at least one person that you can look back on and say, that person made a difference in my life, and you will remember that person for the rest of your life. Everybody in this room has somebody like that. The problem is, sometimes we never tell them. So that's your challenge before you leave. The other thing is, this is all about leaving and saying goodbye. I just want you to know that, as Dan said, there will be challenges, there will be failures, but you know what? If it gets a little too tough and you get a little bruised, you can always come home. The people in this room love you. They will come back and accept you and do whatever we can to make it better. So don't forget us, because we will always be here for you. Again, congratulations. It is a great honor to concur with Principal Smith and present the graduating class of 2013 to Board Trustee John McDonough. Mr. McDonough?
Good afternoon. Thank you, Mr. Purnell, Ms. Smith, board members, teachers and staff, proud families and loved ones, class of 2013. We're gathered here today as Elmhurst Community Unit School District to celebrate the graduates of the class of 2013 from York Community High School. Community, it's mentioned twice in that one sentence. We also say unit or unified district, which means that we have our elementary, middle, and high school all in the same district. So our name tells us that we're unified, and it says we're a community. But what does community really mean? What does it mean to be a community? Well, here are a few thoughts. When I see the graduates here, I think how some of you came together as early as 3-year-old preschool, and you've been together since. Whatever age or grade you arrived and became part of the class of 2013, you were welcomed by teachers and staff alike. But I think the welcome from your classmates probably meant the most to you. And the reason is that here in District 205, you don't just go to school together. Maybe you do Y-ball, or you did T-ball, or daisies, or Cub Scouts, karate, children's theater, swimming lessons, or any one of a number of activities and sports that our community would offer. And then when you get to York, you might have noticed something else. You may have found yourself perhaps in Palms, say, with a girl that you did ballet with in 2nd grade. Or in Scholastic Bowl, you met up with a KMO teammate from middle school. Or you did a Key Club project with someone you knew from Relay for Life. Over time, together, you celebrated your victories, sometimes with a parade or two or an assembly. You consoled each other during your disappointments. You even grieved together when life's tragedies hit. You pulled together. I often tell people how my wife and I chose this community to raise our kids as a place to weave a web of relationships. As time passed, these connections grew more numerous, stronger, the relationships closer and deeper, and the web became more tightly woven until it became a fabric, a strong fabric of community. Your parents and guardians, those sitting in the audience with cameras in hand and pride and a tear in their eye, they did the same thing. They came to this community, or they simply stayed here. Through their own involvement, volunteering, relationships, they showed how a community must be supported, nurtured, and even challenged to thrive and to grow. And you took their example, and you supported and nurtured your own community. I've witnessed firsthand you cheering the last runner as strongly as you did the first. I've seen you helping your friends' families bail out from devastating floods. And I've seen the simplest of kind words offered during a passing period make a difference on a friend's face. You've repeatedly demonstrated that community is not just a place, it's an active pursuit. So on this graduation day, we gather as a community with extended family and loved ones to recognize your academic accomplishments, to thank you for your contributions, and to simply say, we're very proud of you. Today, you will physically walk away from York Community High School, but we hope you'll never leave the community part behind. In the future, whether you make your home here or nearby or far away, we ask you to take the spirit of community from York with you. Support your friends in times of need. Join together in celebration of your neighbor's victories. Care enough to volunteer, get involved, and make life for everyone in your community a little better and a little brighter. And now to the important business at hand. Speaking for the entire Board of Education of Elmhurst Community Unit School District 205, who in turn act only with the authority given from this amazing community assembled here today. We accept this class of 2013. Congratulations. May your futures be filled with happiness, prosperity, charity, continued growth, and love of community. Thank you.
Wow, my God. Good afternoon. I find it staggering that even today, on graduation, I have never met every person in our class of 2013. Wouldn't you think that after 4 years of walking to the cafeteria, going through the hallways, making the never-ending trek up the atrium stairwell, we were bound to at least know all of the names of our fellow peers? Maybe I should be disappointed by that, but I prefer to see it as a representation of York. Even as the days wind to their close, there is always something to look forward to at our school. Certain events are supposed to stand out in high school. Homecoming Spirit Week, Turnabout, prom, you know. And while all of those were memorable, it's the little things that I will miss most about York. I love the hilarious ads that Wise Tales and York High creates in their perennial rivalry for new staff. The widespread recognition of Panderson's love of facial hair. The consensus that no matter how athletic you are, you will be winded going from the first to the third floor. The confusion over what is the Learning Commons? Where is the Creativity Center? Does the ARC even exist anymore? That Mr. Urbanski has only one volume, deafening. The mix of astonishment but jealousy over the talent of York's artists whenever there's an art show in the Commons. The whiny dread about swimming in gym when we were freshmen. The excitement about a new Friday feature by YTV. Or how kids laugh that our motto is, "This is York." But when I think about it, nothing could be more apt. Unlike the transition from 5th grade into middle school or 8th grade into high school, the shift from high school to beyond isn't as clear-cut. Besides everyone going to U of I, most of us won't know many, if any, people in college. Some of us aren't going to college at all. Truly, here is our first step into a practically brand new environment, and I'll be the first to admit it's terrifying. After being at the pinnacle of senior royalty, we're thrown back as small fish into the enormous pond called the real world. But before we're completely diverted by what the future holds, glance once more at our past, our memories. For most, this is our final goodbye. And more than anything else, that is what I will truly cherish from my 4 years here. The priceless toil and effort my teachers have put into their classes and their students. The unforgettable bonds I have made with my friends. The wisdom I have gained that has molded me into who I am today, standing here. So, despite any hardships, smile fondly at them all because in the end, we collectively, as a friend group, as a single class, as a York graduating class of 2013, we made it. Thank you.
Another day, another destiny, this never-ending road to Calvary. These men who seem to know my crime will surely come a second time, one day more. I did not live until today. How can I live when we are parted? One day more. Tomorrow you'll be worlds away, and yet with you my world has started.
One more day all on my own.
Will we ever meet again?
One more day with him not caring.
I was born to live with you.
What a life I might have known.
And I swear I will be true.
But he never saw me then.
them as they fall. Never know your luck when there's a free-for-all. Here's a little dip, there's a little touch. Most of them are gone, so they won't miss much.
One day to a new beginning.
Freedom hall.
Every man will be a king.
Every man will be a king.
There's a new world for the winning.
New world to be won.
Do you hear the people sing? My place is here. I fight with you.
Tomorrow is the judgment day.
Tomorrow we'll discover what our God in heaven has in store. One more dawn, one more day, one day
In order to follow the calling of the graduates' names, please note that Miss Goldman will be beginning at the beginning of the alphabet, and I will begin at the end of the alphabet. In order to provide every student, every graduate, and his or her family an opportunity to hear their child's name when it is read, we ask that you refrain from cheering or applauding until the conclusion of the ceremony when all graduates' names have been read.
Will the first row please stand and come to the stage? Sean Began.
Reese Budinger.
Rakaya Abdallah.
Zachary Zarowski.
Neethu Abraham.
Ashley Zunkel.
Jackson Bell Aiken.
Emma Zilkowski.
Erica Catherine Akapol.
Alexander Zhuang.
Alina Maria Acosta.
Kevin Zerati.
Christian Ahern.
Alina Zamani.
Elizabeth Acree.
Brett Allen Young.
Ali Nazim El Farouki.
Katie Yamanaka.
Louis Alcaraz.
Lainey Rose Wright.
Karen Margaret Altergott.
Kendall C. Wolf.
Christopher Alvarado.
Benjamin Allen Wolf.
Elisa Alvarez.
Alexandra Woklinski.
Andrew Amen.
Tyler Winker.
Connor Amiat.
Connor Wing.
Hannah Anderson.
Takina LaShawn Williams.
Laura Lee Anderson.
Ishmael Williams.
Jose Alberto Andrade.
Deshaun Javon Williams.
Annalise Nicole Andriaki.
Nathaniel John Wilczewski.
Kaylin Mia Antiojo.
Matthew Wilbur.
Cassandra Marie Aponte.
Della Emily Weiner.
John Arcaro.
Caitlin Christine Wickersham.
Thomas Francis Arnare.
Linnea C. Wethicam.
Elizabeth Ann Arnold.
William Charles Westfall.
Sista Arvasista.
Rebecca Marie Wormeling.
Maria Evgerinos.
Spencer Nicholas Wegner.
Luke Stephen Babby.
Christopher Dennis Watson.
Osman Balderrama.
Joseph A. Wark.
Andre Balog.
Madeline Marie Ward.
Ulsi Vandula.
Crystal Wallach.
Bryce Anna Beduelos.
John Trent Waldschmidt.
Teresa Cecilia Baralia.
Alexander Thaddeus Walder.
Daryl Barnes.
Andrew Waite.
Ellen Berry.
Austin Wagner.
David Carl Bartler.
Allison Wagner.
Arvine Bath.
Adam Joseph Vocalino Sumansky.
Alexander Bauman.
Andrew Kenneth Viverito.
Jessica Bayers.
Catherine Vinogradov.
Savannah Anita Bays.
Julian Villejas.
Connor Belfiore.
William Edward Vierling.
Bridget Buckhager.
Sarah Elizabeth Vesley.
Luke Bernstein.
JC Nicole Verdek.
Camilla Best.
Benjamin Vega.
Ronald Byer Jr.
Mark Varghese.
Ellen Bickle.
Alana Varnas.
Caitlin Bircher.
Suraj Varghese.
Tara Blue.
Austin Vanderkar.
Audrey Ann Blumenschein.
Alec Vanderkar.
Robert L. Bosenberg.
Katie Van Zanbergen.
Matthew Bogdanowitz.
Samantha Valdezeri.
Ryan Bowman.
Abby Marilyn Udelhoffen.
Titus N. Brandy.
Emily Elizabeth Margaret Udenberg.
Shay Braun.
Zachary Michael Ubriaco.
Emily Brennan.
George Turovic.
Lauren Brinkman.
Sam Turk.
Vanessa Brochus.
Kelsey Travers.
Calvin Tinian Brown.
Kellen Tracy.
Laura Lillian Browning.
Ariana Margaret Torles.
Samuel Andrew Brush.
Madeline Marie Tornabene.
Anna Danielle Buckley.
Kevin Toomey.
Clara Badinsky.
Nick P. Thorson.
Marissa Rose Buffo.
Trevor Anthony Thompson.
Benjamin Bowie.
Andrew Thomas.
Samantha Noel Burkhart.
Kurt Theme.
Deja Chandrea Burnett.
Christopher John Ryan Taylor.
Brittany Nicole Basletta.
Tanisha Carey Framilda Tate.
Nicole Byerly.
Michael Takis.
David Matthew Byrne.
Mark Swanson.
Nicholas Cahill.
Ashley Kristen Swace.
Heather Victoria Callens.
Raymond Joseph Sutter.
Donald William Campo, Jr.
Cameron Marie Supina.
Emma Jane Caniff.
William Sunberg.
Anthony Cano.
Thomas Sullivan.
Morgan Carling.
Shannon Marie Sullivan.
Dana Carlson.
Matthew James Sullivan.
Desiree Selena Carlson.
Gracie Sullivan.
Julia Nicole Carlson.
Brianna Stubbs.
Jonah Carmen.
Ariel Monique Straw.
Cassandra Carmona.
Margaret Elizabeth Stotzer.
Joseph Casilla.
Tim Stotes.
Kevin Allen Caskey.
Garrett Joseph Stevenson.
Adrian Ricardo Castellanos.
Kyle Christopher Stevens.
Michael Castellanos.
Kiara Sherelle Stevens.
Sarah Elizabeth Catalano.
Grace L. Stenberg.
John Catanzaro.
Colin Stefanik.
Alexander James Kavanaugh.
Brianna Lee Steen.
Jennifer Chapman.
Robin Yvonne St. Laurent.
Jacob Gregory Shadowan.
Daryl James Springfield.
Michael Christensen.
Scott William Spoolstra.
Hannah Lynn Clark.
Ryan Nicholas Spoolstra.
Haley Cleaton.
Marissa Sparks.
David Cohn Jr.
Jessica Soto.
Frank Connell.
Daniel William Sonnenberg.
Patrick James Connolly.
John David Smykowski.
Brendan O'Keefe Conroy.
Kaylee Alexis Smith.
Kyle David Conway.
Jake Patrick Smith.
Claire Marie Cornell.
Charles Jeffrey Smith.
Philip Frederick Corrado.
Kaylee Slavic.
Keisha Cortopassi.
Darius Slaughter.
Nicholas Joseph Casentino.
Brett Douglas Skeel.
Anise Chloe Cox.
Tejesvi Singh.
Elizabeth Kratzer.
James Simon.
Margaret Kratzer.
Jessica M. Seja.
Jesse David Crow.
Jessica Sue Shostak.
Patrick Joseph Crowley.
John Robert Shipman.
Josh Dahlen.
Jeremiah Michael Shea.
Allison Page Daly.
Michael Shannon.
Ryan Romeo D'Angelo.
Carl Severino.
Haley Dantona.
Zachary Michael Shetta.
Sophie Elizabeth Darley.
Tessa Sebastian.
Alexander Jeffrey Davis.
Elena Nicole Schwartz.
Chad Nathan Davis.
Georgia K. Schneider.
Miranda May Dean.
Lauren Christine Schmidt.
Melissa Marie Deitch.
Shannon Schmelter.
Ryan Delaney.
Catherine Christine Schlemmel.
Jessica Sarah Delgado.
Jennifer Schaub.
Sarah Rose Dabian.
Cody Ronald Shaw.
John DeCiani.
Diana Billichin Scaria.
Catherine Dixon.
Joshua Christian Scardina.
Anthony DeCasolo.
Rebecca Lee Sanders.
Jessica Ann DeDominic.
Jessica Sanchez.
Caroline Ann Dirksheide.
Nicholas Antonio Sanchez.
Matthew Devine.
Daisy Brianna Sanchez.
Bailey Dahl.
Jordan Samada.
Corinne Ann Donofrio.
Emilio Salvia.
Peter Dorizis.
Nicholas Walter Salick.
Bradley James Dose Jr.
Jessica Ann Saxtetter.
Dejana Dosen.
Malcolm Gustine Ross.
Peter Stephen Doty.
Kelly Ross.
Abigail Douglas.
Jamal Nathaniel Ross.
Alexa Drake.
Maggie Rosengren.
Nicole Drake.
Alexandra Rosati.
Abigail Gerard Dronen.
Allison Nellie Rosado.
Erica Lynn Drost.
Deanna Marie Romine.
Michael John Druffel.
Sean Brennan Michael Romanowski.
Kelly Dufort.
Melissa Lee Roman.
Jacob Anthony Dulac.
David Rogala.
Kelly L. Dunbar.
Jennifer Rodriguez.
Zachariah Thomas Dvorak.
Brenda Rodriguez.
Ellen Dyra.
James Linnell Robinson.
Matthew Jr. Echeverria.
Natalie Ann Rizzo.
Haley Edwards.
Gabriella Reek.
Jonathan Allen Elsey.
Abigail Charlotte Reese.
Brian Patrick Enright.
Frank Roger Richter.
Evan Fabry.
Joshua Rice.
Ashley Marie Fasano.
Patricia Brooke Ray.
Kayla Marie Favia.
Keely Lynn Reesing.
Maureen Elizabeth Feeney.
Kurt Todd Reisenbuckler.
Alexa Danielle Ferrara.
Ross Reichert.
Elizabeth Fetcher.
Will Railing Jr.
Diego Antonio Figueroa.
Michael Patrick Regan.
Emma Phelan Fisher.
Carly Marie Redmond.
Edith Flores.
Thomas Russell Reavers.
Judith Flores.
Alex Edward Reback.
Stephanie Christine Floros Bazinski.
Taylor Elaine Ray.
Emily Marie Flynn.
Peter Charles Rantis III.
Matthew James Flynn.
Sophia Elizabeth Raffin.
John Foreman.
Amanda Ellen Quarry.
Julia Christina Fernado.
David Qualia.
Sarah Lily Foster.
Syed Anas Kadre.
Stephen Fujiru.
Charlie Michael Posen.
Andrew Thomas Drogo French.
Liana Marie Potoglu.
Eric Friesenhan.
Joseph Ryan Porter.
Danielle Rose Frobel.
James Porter.
Joseph Donald Frost.
Sunny Grace Porps Hummel.
Virginia Joanne Frost.
River Pitlock.
Daniel Patrick Funk.
Kevin Jerome Piatro.
Alina Gagliardi.
Anthony Parati Jr.
Stephanie Galan.
Caitlin Michelle Pickler.
Andrew Caesar Garay.
Richard Donald Petrie.
Anthony Michael Garay.
Chase Robert Peterson.
Andrew Michael Garcia.
Ryan A. Peranto.
Maria Isabel Garcia.
Carlo Joseph Pauldine.
Valeria Azucena Garcia.
Jack Parpan.
Leanne Garner.
Matthew James Parks.
Kenesha Garrett.
Tara Park.
Luke Gasparich.
Joshua Scott Paparone.
Frank Gaudio.
Anna Louise Pankow.
Jeremy Gaughan.
Tyler Joseph Palermo.
Keontae Deshawn Gillespie.
Hannah Elizabeth Paste.
Frank James Glassman.
Bridget Ostojic.
Elena Kathleen Gleason.
Corinne Osmansky.
Dominic Alexander Gliadis.
Connor Orion.
Marissa Glossney.
Mariana Ortega.
Thomas Michael Gannett III.
Gerardo Antonio Orozco.
Christopher Michael Gonachek.
Ellie Ordonez.
Renata Michelle Getz.
Alex Ong.
Anju Gogana.
Stephanie Diane Andrula.
Ruby Gogana.
Kristen O'Malley.
Angela Gomez.
Connor Joseph O'Malley.
Adam Gomez.
Brian Daniel O'Malley.
Noe Gomez Jr.
Gonzalo Olvera.
Natalie Gonzalez.
Olivia Ann Olson.
Jessica Gonzalez.
Julia Claire Oliver.
Daniel Gordillo.
Daniel O'Leary.
Elizabeth E. Gordon.
James Edward O'Halloran IV.
Benjamin Thomas Gornick.
Rachel Ann Ogden.
Nathan Thomas Gornick.
Maria Guadalupe Ochoa.
Leah Gortowski.
Eric Ocampo.
Alexandra Grabowski.
Brett Thomas O'Brien.
Adam Lewis Graysick.
Tanner Lawrence Obel.
Nash Rockwell Grandstrom.
Braylee Therese Nudera.
Shania Grant.
Eric Nowak.
Sean Greer.
Matthew Michael Nosek.
Amanda Courtney Grigg.
Sean Narapple.
Cecilia Reynolds Grezelia.
Christina Ninen.
Nicole Grallo.
John Patrick Newell.
Maria Claire Grostidier.
Amanda Ray Nero.
Margaret Marie Grubbs.
Anne Louise Nelson.
Angela Renee Greeno.
Melissa Rose Naples.
Adrian Guzman.
Ushishi Naha.
Molly Haas.
Patrick Michael Murtaugh.
Keon Christian Hackney.
Brianna Rose Murray.
Ramsey Hamarni.
Paul Munez.
John Robert Hamby.
Madeline Anme Mueller.
Caitlin Renee Hamilton.
Keenan Mueller.
Samantha Nicole Hamilton.
Diana Catherine Miller.
Stephen Hams.
Andrew Mueller.
Sarah Hangstifer.
Bridget Muckian.
Rayellen Harumi Webb Harada.
Lisa Michelle Mucci.
Daniel Harpestad.
Glenn Thomas Morgan Jr.
John Harrell.
Ivan Armando Moreno.
Emily Hartney.
Austin Michael Moran.
Nancy Chantel Harvey.
Alexander Montesantos.
Laura Ann Hazley.
Adam Richard Montana.
Jack Hayden.
Denise Munares.
Sarah Lynn Hayes.
Abigail Graham Mismer.
Gretchen Elizabeth Hedrick.
Alexander Matthew Mimlitz.
Nicole Ann Heiberger.
Scott Thomas Milling.
Aaron Hines.
Jackson Miller.
Nicole Ray Hines.
Alexandra Milan.
Eric Ronald Helm.
Rachel Lynn Michaud.
Jarrett Herman.
Lauren Elizabeth Mesera.
Alejandra Hernandez.
Alyssa Menelacino.
Sheila Hernandez Aguirre.
Ian Menerick.
Ron Josue Hernandez Jr.
Christina Ann Malone.
Zachary Joseph Herrera.
Jeffrey Thomas Malone.
Danielle Renee Hieronymy.
Michael Stephen Meyer.
Eric Hilgendorf.
Erin Carol Maring.
Cassandra Elise Huxima.
Brian McNally.
Amber Hoegberg.
Patrick Dolan McKenna.
Kiana Hogan.
David Dylan McKay.
Ryan Vasily Holman.
Amber Nicole McGinn.
Jenna Rain Honeywell.
William Genesis McGing.
Brandon Honig.
Connor McGee.
Anna Marie Havorka.
Justin Robert McDonough.
Peter Sean Howland.
Juliana Grace McDonald.
Kimberly Ann Hughes.
Connor Patrick McDermott.
Emily Iannucci.
Daniel Owen McDade.
Narciso Iberez.
Allison McDade.
Julio Cesar Iberez Pisa.
Marissa McCarthy.
Andrew George Ivaskevich.
Joseph McCarthy.
Ian Jackson.
Christopher Joseph May.
Thomas John Jager.
Kyle James Matranga.
Nisar Jagardar.
Jillian Mastropolo.
Ranjitha Jain.
Lily Meshayak.
Stacy James.
Anne Patricia Martino.
Andrew Janetsky.
Cynthia Martinez.
Jackson Jelinek.
Selena Martinez.
Jacob Nelson Jevitz.
William Armstrong Martin.
Sean John.
Rachel Ann Martinson.
Dennis Johnson.
Madeline Marie Marson.
Emma Johnson.
Billy Alexandria Marquez.
Graham Andrew Johnson.
Fiona Marnick said.
Tamia Johnson.
Filippo Anthony Marino.
Paige Jordan.
Cheyenne Mariano.
Devin Joseph.
Victoria Maple.
Nicole Kristen Juarez.
Austin Malalis.
Ryan Earl Jurgens.
Brianna Mackey.
Alexandra Julian.
Megan Maher.
Miles Kelchak.
Eric Porfirio Magana.
Christos Caldas.
Victoria Allen Madsen.
Alexandra Kalinich.
Louis Ludkowski.
Diana Kinjerith Amuto.
Winter Violet Lucas.
William Kauk.
Timothy Lothian.
Samantha Jessica Keck.
Giovanni Lopez.
Jessica Kellerstraus.
John Day Lopez.
Michael William Kenna Jr.
Carlos Lomelli III.
Connor Kerrigan.
Justin S. Loescher.
Mohammadi Khan.
Daniel Emmett Lindsay.
Brian Kanishi.
Robert Leo Licata Jr.
Michael Robert Kirby.
John Thomas Liebert.
Erica Carey Klang.
Lauren Suann Winchester Lang.
Scott Klein.
John Keppel Lewis.
Joseph Kleinhans.
Amanda Lewis.
James Austin Kleben.
Joseph Leasus Jr.
Dexter Kling.
John Michael Lesniewski.
Kevin Klaskowski.
Kevin Robert Lehman.
Caitlin Marie Canarum.
Michael Anthony Ladoni Jr.
Emily Nuff.
Reese Josephine Leahy.
David Knope.
Annabelle Lansdowne.
Helen Claire Knutson.
John David Londu.
Stephen Koch.
Jacob James Lambert.
Hannah Kopak.
Bonnie Rose Lambert.
Kyle J. Kopinski.
Dakota Richard Lamb.
Jessica Kozapati.
Carly Kavitan.
Emily Marie Kosich.
Jacqueline Christine Kuzara.
Haley Rochelle Cost.
Douglas Allen Kurzik.
Kyle Kotwitz.
Justin Ronald Karash.
Benjamin John Koval.
Brandon Scott Kupchak.
Matthew Kavachis.
Alexei Dale Crumry. Kayla Kreitzer. Natalie Krepulek. Tyler Krozek. Nicholas Craston. Laura Lynn Krantz.
Hi, I'm John Quigley, President and CEO of the Elmhurst Chamber of Commerce and Industry. In these challenging economic times, it's imperative that our residents and businesses band together to not only shop Elmhurst, but buy Elmhurst whenever possible. We have great stores in our city center, Spring Road, Butterfield Road, York and Villette Streets, St. Charles and Route 83, North Avenue and Lake Street, along North York and even Grand Avenue. I ask for your help. Let's keep our tax dollars in Elmhurst.
Hi, I'm Elmhurst Police Chief Steve Neubauer. Elmhurst is a great place to live and work. However, we are not crime-free. Many people in our community become victims of crime simply because they did not lock their belongings. I would ask you to do two things. First, lock your car, house, and bike. Secondly, call 911 to report suspicious activity to the Elmhurst Police Department. The Elmhurst Police Department reminds you to lock it or lose it.